Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Santosh Chajed, M.Pharm PhD Pharmaceutical Sciences. In this video, Mr. Swapnil Sonone, he is a Assistant Manager, MS and T, Cadila, Ahmedabad, India. He is a formulation scientist and he will express his view on importance of organic chemistry in pharmaceutical formulation.
Hello everyone, my name is Swapnil and currently I'm working with Zydus Cadila Healthcare in Ahmedabad, and my department is Manufacturing Science and Technology. I have 10 years of experience in pharmaceutical formulations, and since I passed my master's in 2010, I've been into this field, working extensively in many of the companies. I had an experience with AstraZeneca, Mylan, and currently I'm with Zydus Cadila. So today I'm here to discuss and correlate what a formulation guy has a view with respect to organic chemistry or the chemical entity which has been involved in pharmaceutical formulations. Okay, so to just explain you or to tell you what I feel or what I have experienced throughout this work tenure. So many of you might think that pharmaceutical formulation guy will be aloof or will be far away from drug substances, right? So basically, what formulations are? Formulations are drug products. Okay, so the word itself tells that it is an link or an outcome from a drug substance. Okay, drug is the key role which is playing in the formulation. So even if I think that drug formulation or a drug product has nothing to do with drug substances, then that will be a funny part, right? So basically, even if a formulation person or a formulation professional who is working with tablets, capsules, or ointments, okay, so these people or these subject matter experts have to have deal with the drug substances or the APIs, right? So chemicals which have been manufactured or synthesized by you guys, the organic chemists, are the basis for all the link ahead, which finally results into drug products, okay, or the medicines which are taking in the market. So from my perspective, organic chemistry is the basic for all the pharmaceutical formulations, okay. So but why organic chemistry is not getting that much focus currently? Because people are not focusing what challenges we are facing in our industry here. Okay, so here are some of the challenges I have listed down. So there is limitations in getting quantum of NCs. Okay, because what has happened currently, many of the industries are focusing on existing compounds. Okay, they are making modifications in those compounds. They are creating some adjuncts to that, but new chemical entities which is involved in higher risk of cost and everything, industries are not focusing with a fear that they will lose money or they will lose the time. Okay, so basically, because of this, there is lack in the new chemical entities. Okay, so there is also an impact of the regulatory agencies, because day by day the FDAs or the EMEA are coming up with more stringent regulations which are impacting the synthesis processes to generate new chemical entities, because that will again impact the patentability of that drug substance. And this is just related to at the administrative part, but when it comes to synthesis or generating a new molecule, there is also a risk at which stage it will fail, you never know. Okay, so that is one of the biggest challenge. Second thing is, even if you manufacture or produce new chemical entity in market, when you launch a formulation with that new chemical entity, people or the patients are really skeptical. Okay, even doctors are been scared of, like, if what are the data available for this product. Okay, because there is limited amount of data available, being a new molecule, which may result in any kind of complications in the patient. So even while prescribing, doctor thinks twice uh, prescribing a new drug, unless and until it is very essential and got an emergency approval. Okay, so introducing a new molecule in the market is also a new challenge. Okay. Apart from that, if you go in the clinical perspective, so as you have seen, like currently vaccines, if we take the classic example. So vaccines, even though it is very necessary, FDAs and WHOs are getting all the data which is preliminary required so that the safety and efficacy of that vaccine is been ensured. Okay, so for vaccines, it is the total formulation itself. But when we come into to talk about the drug substances, uh, it becomes more complex because you have to manufacture and uh, upscale that drug substance. Then you need to get it clinically approved. Okay, before that preclinical studies also goes on. So there are many stages finally which leads to a pharmaceutical formulation which may or may not be stable. Okay, so stability is again a different perspective. Apart from that, if we see that in current pharmaceutical industries, uh, we need to increase the bar of the organic chemist, right? Because as I have told, organic chemist has to deal with all the drug substances currently which are existing, and you need to modify it. Modify in the sense you need to manufacture its analogs and all. Okay. So I guess we need to increase the bar that the chemist should be given a leverage to synthesize a product by his own thought process and not limiting his uh, work boundaries uh, to just what industry needs, right? I mean, what company needs is important, but what organic chemist thinks to produce a new molecule should be taken into account. The last challenge is the economics, because when you talk about the economic part, industry is really, I mean, even though pharmaceutical industry is growing day by day, but if you consider the economics involved in generating a new chemical entity is really, really hard, because uh, you are not sure at what stage it may get failed. Okay. When you are at the lab scale, when you are producing a new chemical entity, you might be doing molecular modeling or using some softwares to predict the functional group which may interact with a particular um, which may give the pharmaceutical what we call therapeutic effect. Okay, that you may design in the softwares, right? Basis you can synthesize that molecule and so on. But when that molecule comes in a physical form, and you go on further studies, like if you do preclinical studies, then you go for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So you are not sure, right, when it will get fail or it will get clear. If it get clears all the phases of clinical trials, then well and good. But if it get fails at the last stage, then there is a huge cost incurred in that. Okay, so these challenges I have just summarized whatever I have told you. If summarizing the next slide, I'll just show you. Like pharmaceutical industries are driven by organic chemistry, right? Because it forms the basis of what we call pharmacon, the drug. Okay, since 1800, there were conjugates which have been used. Okay, there were derivatives from the natural source which were used, but in 1844, the first synthetic drug had found its way. Okay, for the treatment, and since then we have come a long way till now, and we have a bunch of new chemical entities and new drug substances which are treating many of the ailments till now. Okay, and organic chemistry has led to synthesis of many small molecules. Basically, currently we are dealing with only small molecules when we are talking about the organic chemistry. But in the next slide, I'll just tell you what further we can go. Okay. However, as I have told, the synthesis of new drugs are just limited to homologs or analogs of that parent moiety. Okay. So this is the limitation which we are currently facing. And also, there is a challenge with respect to the potency, selectivity, absorption, distribution, metabolism. So whatever pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics involved in the formulations are basically linked to the chemical entity or the API, which has been instilled in that formulation. And all these things, when come together and gives a satisfactory result, then we call it as an useful NCE, right? Then, as I've told, upliftment, we need to uh, increase the knowledge and skill of the organic chemist. So therapeutic efficacy is found enhanced on biosimilar medicines or protein drugs, right? So currently you might have seen that pharmaceutical industry is being getting focused to the biosimilar products, okay, like protein drugs and all, which is also can be taken into account in terms of the organic chemistry, right? So organic chemists can get involved in this thing to produce a biosimilar drug, okay, which may lead to explore a new facet of the treatment, right? So this leverage organic chemist should be given, and he should be upskilled for that thing, right? Uh, Talking about the next thing, I think what I have told, that the patient or the doctors are a bit skeptical about that whether the moiety will be safe for the masses, okay, because the clinical trial, even though it is having a number of data with respect to the patients and all, but still the post-marketing surveillance gives you the more exact data, right? So even though we are dealing with the risk evaluation clinical studies, which ensures the safety and efficacy of the formulation of that particular NCE, market is unpredictable, and you never know what the clinical complications may come when it goes to the market, right? And when we talk about the clinical thing, so NCs may fall short with either safety, efficacy, or both. Okay, so even if you feel that the drug is safe, but when it comes to the efficacy part, it may fall short when it goes to the sin condition in the body. Okay, so a classic example, many of the uh, vaccines which have been recently launched for the COVID, you might have seen that even they are safe, but the efficacy level of each vaccine is different. So there are challenges in marketing those vaccines into the market. Okay, and even as I've told, that even if it proves that it is safe, or if it is having a good efficacy, when it goes to a clinical trial phases, at which stage it will fail and it will lead to a downfall, we cannot predict, right? So there is also a risk, and risk associated with the subjects which are under the evaluation of that new chemical entity. Okay, so there is also a risk because you'll have to take all the ethical committee approvals and all, and you'll have to submit the data before that. So there is also a risk involved in the subjects or the patients which have been involved in the clinical studies. Okay, and talking about the economics, okay, so every company, when it deals with a new chemical entity or a patented molecule, they are desired to come up with, they also calculate a value at risk. Okay, so it is a prediction. The molecule may get failed. Okay, either in the safety or the efficacy of that um, product. Okay, but when it comes to a pharmaceutical industry, they jot down all the points that where we will lose the money and what is the value at risk. If the molecule clicks, then there is no risk in that. But if the molecule doesn't, then what is at the stake is involved in this. But even there is a calculation for this VAR values. Putting up so much money in a new chemical entity with unknown risk. Pharmaceutical industry actually in India basically is really far away from that, because most of the pharmaceutical industries in India are involved in generic medicines. Okay, so most of the patented products which have been expired by their patentability are been considered in the generic industry. So there is very less risk involved in manufacturing of generic molecules. Okay, so Indian industry is not at that part to take risks. However, few of the companies like DRLs, even Zydus Cadila, are coming up with their own molecules, but the value involved in that molecule is really, really high. Okay, so how organic chemistry or organic chemist can stay alive? Okay, so basically we need to put in powerful R&Ds which will have all the resources with respect to softwares, with respect to studies, testings, okay, with respect to the chemicals, everything. So we need to come up with that thing. Apart from that, as I've told, we need to increase the skill and knowledge of that organic chemist. We cannot just limit what from since very long we are using the same textbooks and all. We need to push the organic chemist to next level. Okay. Apart from that, there are few fields like biomarkers which are being used either in the diagnostics or you might have heard in the forensic investigations which we use. So in such fields also organic chemist can find its way. Okay. Apart from that, targeted treatment, which is currently gaining a very huge demand, like a selective polymorph is being manufactured, because you might have seen that uh, there are innovators which come up with a new chemical entity and new formulation from it, which is having good efficacy rather than a generic. Why this happens? Because there is a difference in the polymorph or the specific enantiomer. So if we increase the what we call the R&D capability, we can get into these things, and we can easily get a good facet in the chemistry of Indian pharmaceutical industry to make it to a new level. Okay. Next is tailored, like on patent expiry, generic drug has a competitive market. So as I was talking that, as I was telling you earlier regarding the generic medications. So these are like existing patented molecules which are being just generated with the equivalent or slightly different synthetic procedures. But what happens? This limits the generation of new chemical entities. Okay, so I guess even though we need to focus on the generic medications because it will reduce the cost of treatment in India, but even the pharmaceutical industry may come together. They may form a joint venture to get a new chemical entity for recently advanced ailments which are being identified or diagnosed in the recent past. Apart from that, like in antidotes formulation also, organic chemist is really having an great value. I've written here a story of Mossad. Okay, so Mossad is, I'll just give you a short story. Mossad is an agency from Israel. Okay, and if you might have gone through their past histories and all, you might have seen that many of the assassination, basically, whichever are the enemies, crucial enemies of Israel, they have been targeted by the Mossad, and they have killed those enemies by using chemical compounds. Okay, so if any good government is producing a chemical moiety which can kill a person or a mass. Okay, so if this technology goes in hand with some terrorist or something like that, we should be ready with some antidotes. Like, okay, so for such antidotes, also an organic chemist uh, in most of the laboratories, government laboratories, or in pharmaceutical industries should have an capability to detect, to identify those chemicals and to find an antidote so that nothing massacre kind of thing happens after that. Okay, so I guess that's the only thing I need to tell. So organic chemistry really is a key function for a pharmaceutical industry. It's a foundation for the pharmaceutical industry. So thank you. Thanks a lot.